It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this absolutely invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I would like to take just a moment and thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live and the ones that will be listening to the podcast, as I am just so very grateful for each and every one of you. And you are all in for a very, very special show today, as I have with me a brand new diva. Her name is Chavez, and her and I are going to chat about learning to love to live. And oh my goodness, what an exciting title it's going to be, and what an exciting show. Ellie, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Yes. Hi, Joyce. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited. So my name is Chavez, as you said, and I'm really excited. I'm launching a new course that's actually called the Earth Game, Learn to Love Being Alive, essentially, and it falls right in line with what I believe as like a coach, as well as, a mind-body wellness instructor, a self-defense instructor, and it's really been something that's been brewing for a while, and I'm excited to really share with other people because it's been so impactful for me.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, how exciting. Well, what a perfect timing to have you on the show to share with the Divas That Care listeners about your new classes that you've got coming up. And as we start to talk about it, I'm just going to let you take in and start it off how you would like to, Ellie, and we will just let it flow from there.
Amazing. Yes, for sure. I'll give a little backdrop first, a little context who I am. I was born and raised in New York City, and I taught as a special education teacher for about 6 years in the South Bronx, and I quickly noticed that, I needed some extra support, like mindfulness and such, but so did my kids. And so I ended up really being the lead teacher for this program in my school called Brain Power Wellness. They're amazing as well. And it helped me really realize that I wanted to be in this space of, mind-body wellness, where education is important in terms of reading and writing, of course, all of that. But really, what people need is to learn how to learn how to navigate their inner worlds, their outer worlds, in addition to all the skills they're learning. And that was right at the same time I actually started training in Krav Maga for self-defense, and it all kind of fell in line where I'm like, oh, teaching is my purpose, but not within the classroom. So I made the challenging choice to leave, and have since, that was about 2018 or so, I had been, playing around in that world while also teaching, and I finally made the decision to fully jump in 2018 and be like, I'm doing this. And it's been a mix of doing trainings or workshops or different experiences and programs, along with, honestly, so much of just my own intuitive journey, which I guess the first thing I'll share that I've learned is really trusting myself as being my own teacher, because and I know other people feel this way, right, where there's this feeling that, I haven't done 500 hours of this. I haven't done years of training in this. This is just something I tried. Like, I'm not qualified enough. And it's been really powerful finding the balance between, yes, it's important to have teachers and train, and I am super grateful for the certification program I did for coaching, because it's really given me a foundation, and I feel like I'm in integrity, and I have this solid foundation to offer. And there's so many things that just on my own journey would just come through as, try this, or my body wants to do this, or I'm getting this message, and really realizing, wait a second, if this was powerful for me and it helped me through really challenging times, why the hell wouldn't it be powerful for someone else, even though I didn't learn it in a class somewhere? That's totally valid as well. So it's been this beautiful journey of learning to fuse things. And often once you start learning things on your own, that's when you'll take a class where it's like, oh, wait, they're saying the same thing as the experience you just had. Or you'll take a workshop or a training, and then you'll have experience that you have your own personal journey with that. So it all starts kind of coming together to just reinforce so many core teachings and ways of living that, depending on who you're going to for a teacher or friends or other just life experiences, they're all kind of unique. Same way with you talk about like the core teachings of all like religions or philosophies, right? If you look at the core of a lot of them, they're all saying a lot of similar things in their own unique way. So it's been really beautiful kind of pulling that all together into my own unique system and way of approaching the world. And what's really helped me kind of step into my power is that idea of, I'm not trying to share anything that doesn't work for me. Like, I'm offering what's been amazing for me. Please take it and try it. I hope it helps you. And not everything will. And that's when you tune into yourself and say, oh, I see where that's a powerful practice. It's not for me. Or, wow, I'm so glad you shared that practice. That's exactly what I needed. And that's really helped me feel able to share what I have in integrity and feel like I have the authority to be in this space as a coach now, which I've been kind of downplaying for so long. And it feels so good to have stepped in and gotten such positive feedback about what I'm sharing. I can actually, make a change of sorts, as cliche as that sounds.
Oh, I love it, Ellie. And how you said that in the beginning, mind, body, and wellness is what you are offering. And oh my, how the world needs that now. Mm-hmm. And your intuitive journey and trusting in your own self. And you can, as you are helping bring this out in other women or in other people to help them, that they have it inside of them, it's just bringing it out. And like you said, you kind of been, sounds to me through what you were saying, you've kind of been holding back as being a coach. And now that you've taken that step, that leap, as some people would call it, how good it feels, because it sounds to me like the universe was trying to tell you, this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be sharing with the others out there so they can find their inner self and help them heal and move forward. Oh, Ellie, this is just beautiful. I love it. I hope I'm kind of picking up on what you were, how you are feeling on being a coach and helping others with what you are doing, and how the universe is kind of, I always call it stepping stones. We're in different things that we do, and it all kinds of leads us up to the stepping stone of what we need to do next in our life.
Absolutely. I love that.
Oh, well, you said, I just love what it is. Is your new class is called The Earth Game, Learn to Love Being Alive?
Yes. So it's really interesting here. So I just completed 9 months of training. Talk about really dedicating yourself to training to balance out the intuitive journey, right? With Earth Pulse Academy. And the co-creators, Dylan Lyon and Holly Achaya, are just super epic coaches who have these grand plans for creating this new world and how we can support people through giving them these tools, right? You don't have to go out and fight and protest. Everyone's there for their own journey, but their approach is like, people need all these tools, and that's where change starts. If people can just uncover who they truly are and have the tools to just love being alive and create a life they love, the world will change, because everyone's going to change their little world and that will have that ripple effect. So I just did 9 months with them, where the first portion is my own journey, where I was coached through it and had my own awakenings and journey through the Earth Game, which is the program they've kind of created the content for. And then the second half was learning how to be a facilitator or a coach with all the tools and training that they've had and using that program. So the program I'm offering right now is a kind of collaboration with the content they've created that I just went through, along with me offering my own live coaching sessions, pulling on the techniques and tools I've learned from them, as well as, which I'm excited about, being able to share some of my own tools and practices I've learned. It's so interesting, like you were just talking about how the universe, I am so in love with and trusting of the universe now. It's so great. Because, it starts where you start looking back and you're seeing like, oh, none of this would have happened if this. And, I had to go through my own. I kind of feel like the last portion of my journey, it started with a devastating breakup that just completely wrecked me. And, now, of course, I'm so grateful for that partner, for that heartbreak, because it allowed me to, it allowed me to shatter so that I could become the current version of myself. And because of that, I ended up, visiting a friend in Costa Rica. And because I was visiting that friend, her friend was there. And he's like, hey, I have a circus arts retreat coming. Do you want to go? I've never done circus arts. What are you talking about? But I said yes, because the universe was like, yes, say yes. So I said yes. And then because I went to the circus arts program, I met Holly Achaya, who was doing a workshop there, and she told me about Earth Pulse Academy, and I said, that sounds amazing. And, you never, things wouldn't have happened if they didn't happen exactly the way they're meant to. Both the really challenging parts, the parts that feel like, oh, if I could go back and change it, but would you? Yeah. Because that's something my wise younger sister and I talk about all the time, where we feel in a way that, obviously there's always little things you regret. It'd be kind of silly to say you never regret anything whatsoever, I suppose. I don't like saying always, never, all those extremes. But in a way, what we are talking about is if you still regret something or wish you could go back and change it, it's probably because you haven't learned the lesson and come to feel grateful for what was yet. Because for me, of course, it's part of me that wishes I could go back and change things in a way, but I wouldn't, because I would never give up the journey I've had to where I am now. It's just beautiful. And with Earth Game, when I was going through Earth Game, I was actually just going through a second breakup. So breakup seems to be a thing for me, of like that heart space of just shattering open to allow space for what's meant to be next. And I have such a deeper capacity to feel. I don't want to say it sounds crazy, because I know it's not, but it's amazing how you can feel so much more on the emotional spectrum when you have the tools that I've learned, where I can be devastated and heartbroken and anxious and depressed, and I can feel the depths of that, but also feel hopeful and excited and grateful and joyful. And it seems, how can you feel both those things at the same time? But you can, because you can hold space for both. A really powerful feeling.
Oh, that is just beautiful. That is just beautiful. And something that just kind of came to my mind, one of my horses taught me that change starts from within. And it's amazing how when you start that change, how change just kind of starts happening. And it's so beautiful when you can realize that it starts from within and finding yourself. And like you said, opening your heart. And when you were talking that about how you can feel all the different emotions at the same time, it reminded me so much of when my little red healer crossed. I mean, I was so heartbroken, but yet I was so grateful for all the memories we had together here while he was on the earth plane. And now that he's the angel up above watching over me. And I mean, yeah, you can feel so many different emotions at one time. And I always go back to being grateful for what, like when he crossed, being grateful for the time that I had him here on the earth, and being grateful that now he's watching over me and I can still communicate with him. And it's just, there's so many things to be grateful for that when you start to focus on that, for me, it just starts to get everything going that the universe wants to be seeing, hearing, focusing on. And yes, there are many challenges during those times. I will totally agree with you, Ellie.
Yeah, it's funny. Gratitude's actually, I know my mom is the one who obviously recommended me Nancy Lee Gerson. Gratitude's her number one, quality, or number one emotion or feeling to lean into. So that's something that she's passed on to me as well, that no matter what, there is always, always, always something to be grateful for, even if it's just that, oh, I'm still breathing. Like, even if that's all you can get to, like, I can lie here and breathe today, that's enough. That's something to be grateful for. So gratitude is massively powerful. Yeah.
Oh, yes. How I so hear you in that. Oh, my goodness. Well, as you've been talking about the courses you're going to be offering, are these, I assume they're all done on a virtual way that anyone in the whole universe can plug in with you and take part in this?
Yes. So the program itself is all asynchronous. So all the audio recordings and video and content that you can either read or listen to, it's all being hosted online, and if you sign up for the course, you get access to it, and it unlocks each week. There's 16 different modules. It's quite the deep dive into all these different topics. And then I'm going to be doing the live coaching calls on Zoom. So once we have the solid group, kind of find a couple of times and that would work. And we just do the live sessions there, and they're always recorded if you can't make it. But yeah, it's a pretty standard online course in terms of logistics, and the setup of online content is there. And then the live calls will be live and on Zoom. And I'm really, really excited for this. It's interesting because it's been an interesting challenge transitioning to online, because I'm usually so much more an in-person kind of person. Like, I just connect really easily. I can move in the space and connect to people. I'm very physical, like a hand on the shoulder, smiling, I just am used to that. So I've been doing some things online, but this is the biggest and longest program I've done that's going to be held online. But I feel so much more confident about it, having just gone through it myself, because it's the amount of breakthroughs and the amount of connection and support you can feel online is incredible. Yes, of course, in person with an actual live person hugging you next to you when you need it you can't do that through Zoom. I get it, but it's definitely going through this program with Earth Pulse Academy and all the other men and women who were there with me taking the training. It was really helpful to see how connected you could be. And same thing for a lot of the programs I've done. The ones I've done in person have been massively powerful, and the ones I've done online have been massively powerful. And so it's really just, it's the energy you bring to it. And this allows for such a wider audience. Like you said, anyone in the universe, if you have a Wi-Fi connection and a computer, right, you can now connect. And how amazing is that we can do that, for as much as it'll be great. I'm going to be settling into Denver in a little bit. I'm super excited to host live things there and be with the community, but that's very limited in a sense, right? So having this online really gives access to whoever, wherever, which is amazing.
Oh, I hear you. Oh, that's what I love too. I mean, we can communicate around the whole universe, and it doesn't matter. And yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, being in person and the personal hugs, they are fantastic. But the virtual hugs and the energy, I mean, when you said all that, my heart just warmed, because I can just feel the energy that's coming from you through this call, just being excited about being able to help transform others' lives, and how good that feels to you, and the work that you are doing to do that, and how you have your own experiences to share too, because you made that journey yourself. And I love that. And I love how you talked about the energy, because, oh my goodness, can I ever feel the energy and excitement that you're feeling preparing for this new venture that the universe has put you on.
Yes. I mean, to some point, there's like, joy is a choice, and being like, I was talking to someone about how you're so excited. Why not? I've kind of just decided that's how I want to live life. Like, why not be really excited? Why not be joyful? Why not let myself cry and be really sad? Like, why not have these bigger extremes to some extent? Because that's living life, and that's how I like to show up in the world. And it's the feeling of being it's like in love with who I am and who I'm becoming, and that I'm not beyond like, oh, I like people's approval. Of course, there's always that, you always have appreciation, but I just feel so much solidly myself. Like, the more I show up as myself, I just fall more in love with myself. And it's funny, my mom was just talking about this actually, about she wants to live in a world where more people can speak like that, because there's a lot of times, especially with the spiritual aspect, the spiritual journey, you're supposed to downplay, like she was saying, like the ego, and, don't take credit, don't talk yourself up, and that humbleness. And it's not either or, it's both. There's a time to be humble about things. There's a time to choose how you speak, and not, you're not wanting to brag. But as my mom said, the world would be such a different place if more people just loved themselves and started saying, I love myself. Like, how different would the world be? And I can see that because of the people that are coming into my life who are more like me, where they're just on this journey to just fall in love with themselves, fall in love with being alive, and their lives are not beyond struggle. My life is not beyond the challenges, but it's okay. Like, that's part of the beauty of life, and it's about finding the beauty in everything. And yeah, I'm so, so grateful that I get to live the rest of my life continuing to be able to live this way. It's amazing. It's incredible that no matter what, I'm like, oh, definitely going to have more challenges in life. It's okay. Like, I feel I have the capacity to handle that, and that there'll be beauty in all of it.
You can find gratitude in all of those challenges, just like what we talked about before. And I love that. And I love how you said being joyful and being in love with who you are, being in love with yourself. And no, you don't sound like you're bragging at all. Honest. You're being honest about the person that you have become, the person that you want the world to see. And I love that. And just finding that beauty and helping others find that beauty within themselves. Like I always say, each one has been given such unique talents, and it's just letting those talents shine. And I can totally feel through hearing you on this chat today, you are letting your talents shine, and not in a bolsterous way or an ego way. It's just you have found yourself and love yourself, and these are your talents now to share with others. And oh my, Ellie, you're fabulous. I love it. I absolutely love what you are doing. This is just beautiful. Well, this has gone so quickly, which I knew it would. I knew it would just fly by as we talked about learn to love being alive, because that is so true. It is such a true statement. How do our listeners connect with you? What is the best way for them to connect with you when they hear this podcast and go, I want to connect with Ellie Chavez. I want to find out all about the Earth Game and learn to love being alive. What is the best way for them to connect with you?
Definitely Instagram is my main. I can't really do multiple social medias. Instagram I kind of tap out with, but I'm active on Instagram. It's at Power and Pleasure, which, as a quick side note, the reason I have that as my branding is because I really feel like everything comes back to power and pleasure. So you have your typical, like, if you learn self-defense and you can train, there's obvious power in that. But there's also power in coming into Shavasana after a yoga practice and knowing that you can bring your body to stillness and that peaceful place. That's powerful. It's also pleasurable, right? Pleasure doesn't have to just be that sensual, sexual aspect, which we can also embrace. So that's why those two words are kind of my chosen branded words there. So at Power and Pleasure. And then for anyone who chooses not to use Instagram, which I totally hear you on, probably just emailing me. It's good old-fashioned email, just Elizabeth, ELIZABETH, J, and then Chavez, CHAVEZ, 30 @gmail.com. Good old-fashioned email or Instagram at Power and Pleasure.
Oh, perfect. Oh, thank you so much for sharing it, because I know there's going to be listeners that would love to connect with you. And Ellie, I need to ask you, I would love to have you back on my show as you start the Earth Game and things are moving forward. I would love to have you come back and share on my show with our listeners through Divas That Care all about how things are going and maybe even some of the new challenges that you have faced and how you have seen through them. So I would love to have you back on my show in the future.
Oh, thank you so much, Joyce. This was such a pleasure talking to you and being on here, and it's just gotten me more excited for what I'm doing, what we're doing, and that's part of what we're doing. Right? We're all finding our way of shining our own magic in the world and pulling other people into a space where they can find what their unique magic is. So thank you, and I would love that.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and thank you so much for being my guest. And you have a very magical day today. And thank you again.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care, Joyce.
You do the same, Ellie. I would also like to thank each one of our listeners for listening to this absolutely incredible show with our amazing new diva, Ellie Chavez. Please share this show with all your family and friends. Check out all the hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember, being in love with who you are, and change does start from within, and find the beauty within yourself. And with all of that, remember, be kind to all, have a magical day, give your animals that great big extra hug, and share your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.